We are studying about the pituitary gland. In the previous lecture, we were studied about the position, the anatomical structure of the pituitary gland. In the previous lecture, we have studied about different kind of secretion of anterior and posterior lobe of pituitary gland. This anterior lobe, which is also called as adenohypophysis, secretes hormones like number 1 growth hormone, second one ACTH adrenocorticotropic hormone, third one TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone, fourth one is this FSH and LH, which work on testes as well as on ovary. Together FSH and LH come under gonadotropins, and this is the fifth hormone called as prolactin. So these 5 hormones are secreted by anterior pituitary, and posterior pituitary secretes oxytocin and vasopressin, one more hormone which is called as coherin. Now we have to study details of this, all detailed functions of this different hormones secreted by pituitary gland. We will see the hormones of adenohypophysis or the hormones of anterior pituitary. First hormone secreted by anterior pituitary is growth hormone, which is also called as somatotropic hormone, short form GH, also called as STH. What are the functions? As the name suggests, this growth hormone is concerned with overall growth of the body. This overall growth of the body is due to general growth of the body by stimulating protein synthesis and cell division. As you all know that protein is responsible for growth of the body. So protein synthesis as well as cell division is stimulated by growth hormone. It also brings about growth of skeleton, tissue and muscles. Third function is lipolysis to release fatty acids. What's the meaning of lipolysis? It is lysis of lipids, or it is breaking of lipids so that fatty acids will release. It also promotes growth of bones by absorption of calcium. So whatever factors are responsible for growth of the body, they are get stimulated by growth hormone. So overall growth of the body takes place because of this growth hormone. We have to see the hyposecretion of GH and hypersecretion of GH. What's the meaning of hyposecretion? It is less secretion of growth hormone. This growth hormone, if it is secreted in less amount, what happens? In children, it leads into the dwarfism, which is called as pituitary dwarfism. And this pituitary dwarfism is of 2 types, Laurent type and Froelich type. In case of Laurent type, individuals are mentally normal, and in case of Froelich, they are mentally abnormal. It is written wrongly for Froelich type, it is abnormal. In case of adult, this hyposecretion leads into the Simon's disease. So what are the characters of dwarfism? In case of dwarfism, stunted physical growth is there. So the height of the individual is less. Okay, so this is for pituitary dwarfism. Then hypersecretion of the growth hormone means more secretion of growth hormone in case of children leads to a condition called as gigantism. And if the hypersecretion of growth hormone after attaining the maturity in adult, if it is there, condition is called as acromegaly. What happens in case of gigantism? In this condition, overgrowth of the body takes place, and because of that, individual attain abnormal height. If this pituitary gland produces this growth hormone in excess in middle age, it results in disproportionate growth, causing disfigurement and enlargement of bones of the nose, lower jaw, hands, fingers and feet, and that condition is called as acromegaly. So remember, hypersecretion of GH in case of children is gigantism, that is overgrowth of the body takes place, and after attaining maturity in middle age, if the gland become hyperactive for the secretion of more amount of growth hormone, there will be disfigurement of the body takes place, and that condition will become acromegaly. So this is one of the hormone which is secreted by pituitary gland, and we have seen about its hypo and hyper secretion. Now we are going to start with the next hormone which is secreted by pituitary gland. This next hormones, see, thyroid stimulating hormone, which is also called as thyrotropin. What is the function of thyrotropin? It stimulates thyroid gland to secrete thyroxine. Simply in one sentence you have to learn this. Next hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, also called as ACTH. As the name suggests, adrenocortico. Adreno for adrenal gland, cortico for cortex. That means adrenal cortex is get stimulated because of adrenocorticotropic hormone. Now we'll see the next hormone which is called as gonadotropins. These gonadotropins, as the name suggests, it act on gonads. That means it act on reproductive organs. Reproductive organ in case of females is ovary, and in case of males it is the testes. So these gonadotropins are categorized into two types. First one is follicle stimulating hormone, called as in short FSH, and luteinizing hormone, in short it is LH. So we'll see the functions of follicle stimulating hormone in case of females first. In females, it stimulates germinal epithelium for oogenesis, for development of Graafian follicle, and secondly it also stimulates follicular cells to secrete estrogen. What actually it is, or which cells are get stimulated, we will see here. In the diagram, we can see the structure of ovary, TS of ovary. What it shows, see here, these are the primary follicles. These primary follicles are surrounded by follicular cells. In this diagram, you can see here, this primary follicle is surrounded by many layers of follicular cells. So, development of follicular cells is under the control of FSH in case of females. Second function is, this follicular cells, function of follicular cell is to secrete a hormone estrogen. So, development of follicular cells and secretion of estrogen is under the control of this follicle stimulating hormone in case of females. In case of males, what is the function? In case of male, function of this hormone is to stimulate germinal epithelium of seminiferous tubule for spermatogenesis. What's the meaning of this word spermatogenesis? Spermatogenesis is for formation of sperm. So it stimulates the process of formation of sperms. Where the formation of sperms takes place? It takes place in the seminiferous tubules. So this is the role of FSH in case of male and females. Now we'll see second one, that is luteinizing hormone. This one, in case of male and in female, what are its function? So this luteinizing hormone in females, it bring about ovulation and development of corpus luteum. This corpus luteum is secondary endocrine source for progesterone. This is the condition in case of females, and in case of male, it stimulates interstitial cells to secrete testosterone. Hence, it is also called as ICSH, interstitial cell stimulating hormone. So we will see here what is the role of luteinizing hormone. Once again, this is diagram of ovary. These are the primary, secondary and tertiary follicles develop, and later on this follicle becomes the mature follicle, which is also called as Graafian follicle. Once this Graafian follicle is get formed, this wall of the ovary is get burst open, and because of that this follicle is released into the abdominal cavity. This process is called as ovulation. So LH in case of females is responsible for ovulation, that is release of ovum in the abdominal cavity. So once the ovum is released, these remaining cells inside, it forms a structure which is called as corpus luteum, and this corpus luteum is responsible for secretion of progesterone. So formation of corpus luteum and secretion of progesterone, and before that the process of ovulation is under the control of this hormone which is called as LH. What is the role in case of males? In case of males, it stimulates interstitial cells. In between the seminiferous tubules, interstitial cells are there responsible for secretion of testosterone. So as this hormone, which hormone? Luteinizing hormone, it stimulates interstitial cells for secretion of hormone testosterone. These cells are also called as ICSH, interstitial cell stimulating hormone. Now the next hormone, which is called as prolactin. This prolactin, it stimulates development of mammary gland, and because of that it is called as mammotropin. This prolactin is also responsible for stimulation of mammary gland for secretion of milk. Hence it is also called as lactogenic hormone. One more term is used, that is luteotropin. Why luteotropin? Because it maintains corpus luteum for progesterone during pregnancy. So prolactin is also called as mammotropin, also called as lactogenic hormone, also called as luteotropin. So this is all about the hormones which are secreted by pituitary gland. Which pituitary? It is anterior pituitary or adenohypophysis. Next to that we have to study about the second part, that is neurohypophysis and its secretion. So this neurohypophysis, which part is secretory from this? It is the neurosecretory cells which are present in the region of hypothalamus. It secretes three hormones: oxytocin, vasopressin and coherin. What are their roles? First one, we'll see the oxytocin. It stimulates uterine myometrium at the end of gestational period for normal delivery. What's the meaning of this gestational period? Gestational period is for the completion of period of pregnancy, and so once the embryo is completely matured, this oxytocin is secreted, which stimulate uterine myometrium. Uterine means uterus. So muscles of uterus start showing strong contraction and relaxation, and that helps in normal delivery, which is called as parturition. It also stimulates myoepithelial cells of mammary gland. For what purpose? For milk ejection. And third one, it helps to drive sperms upward towards fallopian tube for fertilization. So these are the roles of oxytocin, also called as birth hormone. Second one is vasopressin, also called as ADH. It increases permeability of distal convoluted tubule for reabsorption of water. Thus volume of urine decreases. So in short, we will remember that as it increases permeability of distal convoluted tubule for reabsorption of water, more and more water will be reabsorbed and will be given back to the body for its reuse. So results in formation of concentrated urine. Remember that anti-diuretic hormone. Anti means against, dilute urine formation, that is in favor of formation of concentrated urine. Secondly, it controls constriction of arteriole to increase blood pressure. When the blood vessels are get constricted, that means its diameter is decreased, and with decrease in diameter of blood vessels, there will be increase in blood pressure. Because of vasoconstriction, process of ultrafiltration is get facilitated, and that is because of that only, as it constricts the arteriole, hormone is also called as vasopressin. When there is a deficiency of vasopressin is there, it results in diabetes insipidus. which is also called as polyuria or diuresis. What's the function of vasopressin? To decrease the volume of urine. If ADH is less, there will be increase in formation of amount of urine. That condition is called as polyuria or diuresis. Okay, so remember this term, diabetes insipidus. It's a type of diabetes where urine is formed in large amount, and second type of diabetes is there which is called as diabetes mellitus, and that is because of deficiency of hormone insulin. Last one is called as coherin. This coherin, it induces prolonged rhythmic and integrated contraction of jejunum for the smooth movement of the food material inside the intestine. So we have studied about pituitary gland and its hormones. In the first lecture of pituitary, we have seen anatomy, its position, and simply the list of hormone. In the second lecture, we have studied about the different hormones and their roles of adenohypophysis and the neurohypophysis. In the next lecture, we are going to study about the next type of gland, their roles, their functions.